quick disclaimer before this episode. I decided to get a little experimental and record this one outside. So there's a lot of background noise, a lot of cars, birds. Someone's mowing his lawn at one point for a little while. It's a whole thing. There are bugs getting in our faces, but it's fine. It was fun. It's a fun one. Please enjoy.
This is for film class?
It's for IB. Like, we're supposed to do some sort of project or another, either like community service related or creativity or whatever.
You say you don't want to do community service?
No, I hate the community. So,
oh wait, we can't cuss on here, right?
Yeah, I mean, I can cut whatever out.
Okay.
It doesn't really matter.
Okay. Like bleep things.
Yeah, right. There was one where I used the SpongeBob dolphin sound.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Welcome to Pulp Diction, the podcast where I talk about movies with my friends for an academic obligation. Alright, welcome back to the Pulp Diction podcast. I'm your host, Dylan Gibson. Who am I here with?
Gabriella Tazalar.
Alright, and, first outdoors episode. I thought it was gonna be colder, so I wore a heavy hoodie, and now I'm kind of hot.
Yeah, and I brought my Hello Kitty blanket, but I'm hot too.
So, would you like to introduce the film we're discussing today?
So we are discussing As Above, So Below, which is my favorite horror movie, and I absolutely adore it. So, and that was your first time watching it, right?
First time watching.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear what you thought about it.
Yeah, it came out a few years ago.
I think 2014?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Found footage horror movie.
Oh, I love found footage so much.
I need to watch a lot more of it.
You're so good.
I've been kind of slacking. But, yeah, they, like, go into the Paris catacombs, and they're... Jeez. Okay. And they're just looking for the Philosopher's Stone. And it's very interesting and very cool. And it was my first time watching it, and I wasn't sure what to think going into it. Like, I'd read, like, a basic synopsis, so I was relatively blind. I didn't know it was found footage beforehand, so that was a surprise. I'm like, oh, that's great. I don't have to analyze, like, cinematography or whatever.
Yeah. No, I think found footage is, like, the best. Like, Blair Witch.
I haven't seen it.
Are you kidding me?
I need to. I know.
And you do movie podcasts,
I
bro?
know. There's a lot that I tell people I haven't seen. They're like, you haven't seen that?
Yeah.
Like 2001: A Space Odyssey. I'm like, I just haven't gotten around to it.
You gotta make time for that.
I know, I do. I mean, lately it's school's a problem.
Oh yeah.
But you know, I can always just procrastinate homework and watch a movie instead.
At least the end of the quarter. It was
Right.
the end of the quarter, so you gotta slack while you can right now.
It was a 3-day week, but they pushed so much into those 3 days.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
No, it was crazy.
It was so bad.
My academic comeback, I was all C's, F's, and now I got to all A's and B's, so I'm good with that.
Lovely. You know, we're back. And but yeah, it was my first time, and to be honest, like in the first like quarter or the first third of this movie, I wasn't sure about it. I thought it was kind of cheesy.
What?
And like, well, not cheesy. Like some of the dialogue and the characters I was just kind of like, okay, this is like every like almost Disney-esque adventure.
Disney.
At the beginning, like the nerd guy comes in. He's wearing those like stupid go-go gadget flip-up glasses.
He was fixing a clock.
Yeah, but it's like the glasses that every character in one of these adventure movies, like the nerd character, always wears. And I don't know. I liked it though.
All right.
It was silly, but I did like that they didn't waste a whole lot of time on like exposition or anything. They just kind of got straight into
it.
Like
I love
spelunking.
That. Oh yeah.
And it was great. I thought the found footage of it added a lot. It's a very claustrophobic movie.
Oh yeah.
Like just the whole thing's in these very tight spaces. And I think that the found footage works really well for that.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know how it would have worked if it wasn't found footage, to be honest.
And I think it's cool because just like it, like you know how people thought the Blair Project or the Blair Witch Project was real for a second. Like it's not. You don't think that's real, but it looks kind of realistic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like this is something you could see in like a documentary or something, and I don't know, it adds like a very real feel.
A more eerie vibe to it.
Yeah, kind of gritty, and yeah, it's very neat.
Mm-hmm.
Do you need like sunglasses?
Oh yeah, I would appreciate that.
Okay.
Do you have any?
I can grab some.
Thank you.
All right, sorry. Yeah, I put you right in the sun. That's my bad.
Oh, maybe I'll make my eyes glow. Oh, you can't even see them anymore, but good thing I put on lots of sunscreen.
Lovely. Okay. So what were we just talking about?
I forgot.
Okay, me too. Yeah, the found footage added a lot to the claustrophobia of it, and just these tight spaces. I liked that they so they got permission to shoot in like the actual
actual catacombs from the France government.
Which is really cool.
Yeah, even like the undocumented parts. You know what I mean? Well, not the undocumented, but the ones that people aren't allowed to go into.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was like, you know how I told you I went into this big rabbit hole.
I don't know if you did tell me that. Maybe you did.
I thought I did.
Okay.
I went into a big rabbit hole with this movie first time I watched it. And apparently that every way that the person died in the movie... Wait, we get to do spoilers, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Every way the person died in the movie had to do with, like, their sins.
Right.
So that was, like, really cool to me.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I don't know if you noticed this, but... the Benji guy who was the main camera
like the camera
guy,
man,
the one who fell to his death because the lady spooked him. The lady that scared him was holding a baby, and so I feel like what my theory is his sin had to do with like infidelity or something. Because you know how, like when at the end of the movie, the girl she said, "I'm sorry, like I didn't pick up the phone call for your dad," and then her dad just disappears.
Yeah,
like she repented for her sins.
Goodness. Yeah, no, I love, I mean, I'm religious, so I really appreciate, like, I'm kind of a sucker for, like, hell imagery and stuff in movies.
Like, when they actually go into, deep dive into it, like, it's Dante's Inferno,
yeah,
I think it is?
no, I was looking at the Wikipedia page after this movie, you know, the best possible source, and, like, there are a lot of parallels to Dante's Inferno in this.
Wait, should we tell them what Dante's Inferno is if they don't know it?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably the most famous depiction of hell. Like, if hell's in a movie or anything, then it's probably inspired by the Dante's Inferno version.
So basically, it's just like layers and layers to hell.
Yeah, like 9 circles. I wrote them down. Yeah.
You wrote them down?
Yeah, cause like they're all here. Like all the parallels. Like in the movie, they have like the same thing written at the entrance, right? To the gates of hell.
But I think they first went into hell when they went into that little area that was blocked off where they weren't supposed to go. Mm-hmm. Like, I think that's when they actually got to hell.
Yeah, probably. And there was all this, like, trippy, weird stuff. Like, when they go through the little bone tunnel.
That made me so claustrophobic. I hated that.
Oh, yeah, that was great.
My heart was racing.
And then they end up exactly where they started.
Yeah.
It's so trippy and weird, and I love when... I don't know. I love when a movie just...
like, psychologically. Yeah.
It just decides to be trippy and weird. And then, like, soon after with the piano and the telephone.
Yeah, he was like, the A4 key was always messed up. Because he used to play with it with his brother.
Yeah.
His brother. And so they were, like, foreshadowing, like, what was going on and why they were there. Because he was there because his brother
Because, like, they all had kind of a personal hell that they were going through in this movie. And, like, those objects, I mean, it's just... the rule of cool too, like it's
cool.
like it's just this eerie thing about these mundane, like more modern objects in this ancient like setting, right?
Yeah. And the phone. Oh my god, the phone.
Yeah.
The phone when it was ringing and then Scarlett picked it up.
Why won't you talk to me?
Yeah, like, why won't you talk to me? Why won't you talk to me? And then she's like, who is this?
It was her dad. It was her dad. No, I really appreciated that, like, they didn't, like, hit you over the head with the answers to these mysteries. They set them up, they gave you the clues, and they let you figure it out for yourself.
Yeah.
Rather than wasting time, like, explaining to you, like, exactly what's going on. I really appreciated that.
Because at the end when she was hugging her dad, I'm so sorry I didn't pick up that phone call.
And then he disappears.
And then he disappears.
She's, like, rectifying her sin, right?
Yeah.
She's redeeming herself. And that's how you get out of hell, is redemption.
And then, I feel like, when they killed off Benji so quick, it was like, okay, Zed, you're the new cameraman. I was like, okay, well, he's just being replaced really quick. Zed's sin wasn't even that bad, though.
Like, yeah, he had a bastard son that he didn't see.
I think the people that died had something to do with like death, or you know what I mean. So like Benji, it's not really hinted out what his was, but like I said, I think it's probably infidelity.
It's pretty that one's like probably the most unclear out of all of them. What he did
Susie.
wrong. And
what's her name?
Suxi, I think.
Suxi?
Yeah. I think, well, she was killed by, what's his name? The one they left behind a couple years ago? Latoop. I thought he was...
That scared me when he, like...
Yeah, he just grabbed her and...
bashed her head in. I was like, oh, like, the first time I saw that scared me. That's why I think when they first got into those, when they went past the rocks and everything to the little tunnel, and Latoop, like, just appeared, they're like, oh my god, I thought you were gone, and... we thought you were dead, and
he is dead. They're in hell.
Yeah, that's why they were in hell. They were in hell before they even reached the gates of hell.
Well, I thought this was interesting. So I guess the first circle of hell is limbo.
Yes.
Right. So people who weren't all that sinful, but like couldn't get into heaven.
Yeah, weren't good, weren't bad.
And so that's where they find Latoop. Like he was just kind of lost, right? This wandering soul.
Yes, because he was like. The only way is down, and then they're like, I thought you knew the way. He was like, I thought this was the way too. Like I was,
like the first hint, like
yeah, he doesn't know where he is.
It's not gonna make sense. It doesn't have to make sense. It's hell.
Yeah.
And it's so cool. It's so cool. I really liked. So I think he said Latoub means the mole.
Yes, the mole, because he used to live in the catacombs.
I thought that was really funny. It definitely wasn't an intentional reference, but in the South Park movie, they meet this little French kid named the Mole.
Really?
Who like digs tunnels.
It probably was. I haven't seen the movies. I've seen every single South Park episode besides the movies, which sucks.
I like the movie a lot. It's fun. But yeah, I thought that was funny. I liked how it was like kind of like horror found footage National Treasure. Like I liked all the little history tidbits, all the Inferno nods.
When like the alchemy and all of that. Like I think it's cool that they put the science and the spirituality all into it in one.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's
and
fun.
History.
It's a fun little adventure.
And they actually talk about parts of the city that have collapsed on itself because of those tunnels.
Right.
And I actually think it's really like amazing how the actual catacombs 200 miles underground, just underneath Paris, and people actually get lost down there and actually die.
Yeah.
Like,
no,
that's scary.
It's a place that is just begging to have a horror movie made out of it. And like
it's a good place to have a horror movie
and
made
I
out
think
of it.
these people like explored it really well.
Oh yeah.
I liked the bit with like the stone people in the walls and they just come out.
Okay, you know what I heard about that?
What's
that? You know when what was his name? George? Was it?
Probably. I don't remember.
I forgot. I know.
I don't remember the main girl's name.
Scarlet.
Scarlet. There we go.
I think it was George. But when he got his neck bit, I heard a theory that the guy who bit his neck was Cain. You know, from the Bible.
Like he killed Abel, right? The first murderer.
He killed his brother. Cain killed his brother. So it was like a brother on brother crime. So that's why Cain went after him because George never went back for his brother. Yeah.
Yeah, he let him, he drowned. Yeah. And let's see, that makes sense too because like by that point they're like in the final circle of hell, right? Which is treachery, which is like people who denied the love of like those they were close with or who were treacherous to like whoever they had relations. Yeah. And like Cain is supposed to be in that circle.
Yeah.
So
and he didn't go back for his brother. Like he betrayed his brother on accident. Like I feel bad because he didn't mean to. He just got lost as a kid.
And like he owns up to it, which is why he's able to escape. Like they all own up to their sins, right? They confess.
Yeah. But do you think the people who died in hell stay in hell?
I mean, I would assume
because
so.
all about the screaming, like after Benji died. Like I was thinking maybe that is Benji, like his spirit falling to hell, because you don't really know what those screams are.
Right. There was something about screaming somewhere. The fourth circle, greed, has like a vortex of lost souls that are just always screaming and like always fighting each other.
Was greed with the treasure and everything?
I feel like it was, I don't know, because a few of these circles are kind of the same thing, like lust, gluttony, and greed. At first when I was reading through it, I'm like, oh, so they had lust for the treasure.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, they had gluttony for the...
But greed would make more sense.
Yeah, greed would make more sense. So, yeah, I don't know. It's really interesting to think of. Like, I wasn't sure about this movie as I was going through it, to be honest, but, like, the more I looked into it, like, the Wikipedia research and stuff, I'm like, okay, this is actually really cool.
Yeah.
And, like, really well done.
It is a amazing movie. If y'all haven't watched it, y'all should go watch it. It's so good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I did like the random screaming throughout.
Oh,
and, like,
yeah.
the creepy choir, too.
The choir. Did you notice that one lady, Benji, was, like, filming in the nightclub, and that lady was just staring at him,
and
like...
it was the same lady, right? Wasn't it?
Yes, it was the same lady in the choir, and the same lady that killed him.
Which, like, might suggest, hey, like, that's whatever he did wrong, whatever he's not owning up to, and
maybe she was the lady. Sorry, I keep on interrupting you. That's my fault.
No, you're good.
But maybe she's the lady that he had the kid with, and that's why he kept on panning to her.
That would make sense. That would make sense.
And she was holding a baby too.
True. Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I loved all the baggage. Like, I do like that they didn't explain it, like, leaving you to speculate what exactly he did. And for all of them, like, they don't necessarily make the connections outright except for a couple times. They just all have this emotional baggage and this stuff that ties into it, and it's really cool. Yeah, the main girl, the one guy in his the car. The fiery car.
Yes, because did you see at the beginning the foreshadowing when the guy was like panning to his hand and had the burns all over his hand?
Oh, I forgot about that.
And Benji was like, "Hey, why does he have burns on his hand?"
We don't talk about it.
He was like, "We don't talk about it."
Yeah.
And then at the end, he was like, he got dragged down because he was like, "It's not my fault. It's not my fault. Like, you were the one driving the car. I'm guessing."
Right. And he's denying responsibility, so he dies rather than owning up to it.
Did you notice in one of the Dante's Infernos, it was like saying the victims or the people will be dragged down by their ankles or like feet.
Yeah, it's the exact punishment they described.
The exact punishment.
I read that. It's oh man. Like he's just dragged into the concrete or whatever, the stone, and only his feet are sticking out.
But do you think that he was dead immediately when they pulled him out? Because like would the dirt and the atoms just like completely crush him, or like what do you think?
I mean, if the fire didn't kill him, like everything else would have.
Because he did
get pulled into the car, and then the car just implodes.
Oh my god! I'm coming to the realization. You remember when they first went into the actual touristy area of the catacombs, and that one guy was like, "Papillon will take you there," and they're like, "Okay, cool, thanks." And look back, he's gone. That was the guy in the car.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Like,
they set it up a lot better than I thought they would have on the first watch.
Yeah.
And I think it would benefit from watching it again.
Oh yeah.
Now that I think about it, I looked into that. I guess they did the car thing completely practically, not like imploding, obviously.
Yeah.
But they brought an actual car down there.
Into the catacombs?
And actually set it on fire with an actual person inside.
No way.
And the director tested it on himself first to make sure it was safe. Like, that's a good director.
That is a good director. I thought they used like CGI.
No, I did too. I mean, there's no way they could do that, and they did it.
They're already using the imploding. Like,
right.
why not
that's obviously.
CGI, but like, why don't you just use the CGI for the fire and everything?
But like, the fire looked so good.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's kind of a hard thing to do with CGI is fire.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And like, special effects do get better and better as the years go on.
Especially because this was 2014.
And like, this was definitely a lower budget movie.
You think?
I would think so. Like,
should I look up how much it was?
That might be good.
Okay.
Like, found footage generally lends itself to lower budgets. And I would think, like, with that small space, they would have a pretty limited crew. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it definitely wasn't a huge budget movie.
I thought it was, like,
I mean, the production value was really good.
Yeah.
And they definitely made the best out of what they did have.
$5 million.
Okay, yeah, so that is pretty low.
$5 million is really low. And they made for $41.8 million.
Okay, so it paid off.
Yeah, but I still think that's pretty low for a movie.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Especially like a movie like that. You would think they had a lot more advertisements.
Right. I mean, I'd never heard of this movie, like, before you suggested it to me.
Oh, really?
Never. And so I didn't know what to think. But I do think that like, helped me out. Like, I didn't know... I mean, I didn't know what to think. I didn't have any expectations.
Mm-hmm.
So...
What was the biggest jump scare for you?
Biggest jump scare? I'm trying to think. I did like when like I mentioned earlier, when the people came out of the walls.
Oh, yeah.
That was cool. And, like, when Latube grabs the
girl and just, like, bashes it. Yeah.
But, like, I kind of saw that coming.
Mm-hmm. Because why is he just standing there, like, and then you're gonna go up to him, are you okay? Are you okay?
Yeah, like
no,
when there's a scary person standing still in a horror movie, you don't... Which, when they saw the guy in the chair towards the end,
yes.
I appreciated that they didn't go to the scary guy in the chair.
Yeah, but the guy didn't go to them either. He was just like, what was he? He's like a watchman?
I don't know what he was.
Yeah.
Like, these people in the
just
weird
the black
robes. He was tall, too.
Yeah.
I saw...
But did you see his face? It
No.
was like, it was kind of like stone. It was gray.
I did see one theory. Someone thought it was Satan.
It might be.
At that point, they're in the lowest circle of hell, which is where Satan's trapped.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, they have to go... I guess in Inferno, they have to go, like, climb down Satan's body into, like, his genitalia to escape.
Yeah,
which is when gravity reverses.
Yeah, see, the end always freaks me out because, like, is everything reversed in this new world that they're in? Are they in a new world, or are they back
I think
home?
they're back where they started. I think they're back home. It's not like a Coraline type thing where they might be in a...
But, like, they literally came out the opposite way. And you know how as above, so below is literally like, what is good cannot go with what is evil. And so maybe they were in a world before that was, like, good. And then they go down to the world that's evil.
It's evil. So you think they can't come back, like, from that evil world?
I don't know. Maybe it's not even evil. Maybe it's just, like... Because, you know, the as above, so below is literally just about correspondence.
Right. It's, like, the magic words that let them do whatever, which is what lets her...
Well, she was the Philosopher's Stone, and... Because that's, like, alchemy.
I was a little apprehensive about that. I'm like, oh, wow, the real Philosopher's Stone was her
you all along.
Wow. Yay. I did like that they, like, kind of... They don't explicitly tell you again. She sees it in the reflection, and you kind of make the realization with her.
Yeah.
And then she's able to heal the guy.
But does that mean she has magical powers outside of hell?
I guess.
Like...
I don't know.
Because what did the actual physical stone, if it wasn't the real stone, then how was it healing everything?
Well, she believed it to be the stone.
Oh, so like what you believe.
What you believe is what is.
Yes.
That's like the whole thing about those words. Let's see. And I guess in Inferno, they're able to cross like this river by saying to the ferryman Sharon, "It is so willed, there where is power to do that which is willed." Which basically means the same thing, I think.
Yeah.
Like,
do you think the river was like when George saw his brother in like the area, like the water?
Yeah.
Do you think that was like considered the river, and they had to keep on crossing it?
I think so. That and like when she's going back, and it's like the
blood
blood
and
water and the hands, and they
Yeah.
take her shoes for some reason.
They took her shoes? I didn't notice that.
I'm like, why'd they take... I don't know. Whatever.
I thought her acting was so good, because she's just running and
she did
sobbing.
a good job. Yeah.
And I was like I felt for her.
Mm-hmm. I thought all the actors were... Like, the claustrophobia of it all. They did... I mean, one of them was actually claustrophobic, I guess.
Who was it?
They wouldn't say.
Oh, they won't say?
Yeah, no, the director said something about it. He's like, one of the actors was actually claustrophobic.
It was probably Benji, because he was, like, for real freaking out.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of funny, like, what's the guy's name? Like, the love interest dude? George. Like, he was saying beforehand, like, he wasn't going to go in there. He was supposed to be the claustrophobic one. But then, like, Benji ended up being actually claustrophobic, and he was, like, kind of fine for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, like, they didn't really go into George's claustrophobia or like fear of caves.
No, they kind of forgot about it.
Yeah, they low-key did. They're just like at the beginning of the movie, I don't want to go in there, and then they get into there and they're like, oh, I'm freaking out. Never mind. Like I'm good. But
make sure this doesn't overheat.
Oh yeah, because it's on.
I thought it was kind of weird. Like he says to her that whatever happens that week was the greatest week of my life.
Like
where did that come from?
I got sent to prison in Turkey. Like, okay. I think it's because he just thought he was gonna die. This was before he got his throat bitten out, right?
Right,
So.
yeah. So they're just kind of confessing everything.
But I think it's sweet at the end where they're all hugging and all that.
That was really nice.
And I'm guessing at the end of the movie they get together again. Like,
and then
like
Zed,
dating,
Zed
so.
leaves.
Yeah, Zed leaves.
Which I was kind of surprised Zed survived.
I was surprised too. He doesn't seem. He seems like one of those throwaway characters.
He was, and like especially since towards the beginning they were kind of setting him up as almost like a comic relief.
Yeah.
Like he does the De Niro impression for no reason, which I don't know if that was scripted or not.
It probably wasn't.
I feel like it wasn't.
I feel like, you know how they. Well, you didn't watch Blair Witch Project, but with that they didn't give him any like. They gave him a few scripts and they're just like, okay, you do what you need to do, because they actually thought that they were, like, they made them feel scared. Does that make sense? Am I making sense?
No, I get you.
Like they put them in that actual situation, and the emotions, the actions, the words, they were all real. For the Blair Witch, at least.
Yeah, because they just kind of put them in the woods and like did whatever they did, right?
Yeah. So, but I'm doubting they just left them in the catacombs.
Yeah, no. I think for something like a production like this, where they got the French government involved, they kind of had to have much more of a solid plan. Yeah. But
wait, you see, they had that big camera in the catacombs with them. They were just logging that around the entire time.
Right.
Like, I thought they just had those little cameras on their headset.
it is kind of, I don't want to say goofy, but parts of it are like if that character,
where did that come from?
Yeah, and if that character died, like how did they go back and get they didn't go back and get the camera.
I think
who found the footage? Who found the found footage? I don't know. But like,
well, they survived, and they were having it on their headset the entire time.
Yeah, but what about the headsets that were like lost?
Oh, you're right.
But like, it's, you don't think about it too hard, you know?
Yeah,
like,
it's a movie. If you think about it too hard, you're gonna find plot points and or like plot holes. But.
Yeah, also also with translating the Aramaic, and it rhymes in
English. I was literally thinking about that. How is it rhyming in English when it's in Aramaic? Like,
yeah, but like, I don't know. It's just look at it as like horror, found footage. Like, it's a National Treasure, Indiana Jones type movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's
kinda
just a silly little adventure.
Yeah, kind of like how, like, The Outsiders, when things were happening randomly, and you're just like, okay, well, it's a part of the movie. Like, this is really weird when it starts raining randomly, all that. Like,
right.
Hello? But, I don't know. I just forgot what I was talking about.
No, I feel you. What was I just... Oh, I liked when they're, like, first going into the tunnel, like, about to descend. Like, the one guy just gets tackled by the cop.
Yeah, I feel like that was a bad jump scare, though, because you weren't expecting it.
Right.
You were expecting it once they finally got
I thought it was kind of funny. Like, the cop just comes out of nowhere, absolutely bodies this dude, doesn't even say a word. Like, no, you're under arrest, nothing.
Yeah, just, like, tackles
Just
him.
tackles the shit out of him.
Uh-huh.
It was so funny.
No, but, like, they were literally on train tracks. Was the cop following them? Like, they were literally... If you go back and look at it, there's nothing around them.
Maybe it wasn't actually a cop. Maybe it was like a gatekeeper to hell or something.
But they were still in like...
But they were still in the overworld, yeah.
But that would be a good theory, though.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah.
And like who were the choir of people at the beginning?
The choir of...
When they first enter.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought I remember something about them. But you know that lady was in the choir.
Yes.
But that lady was also in hell, but she was also in the overworld. So your theory might be right.
You think so?
Yeah, because maybe they can
like they can
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tough. It's tough to think about. But like I don't know. The movie gives you a lot to think about.
Yeah. What about that one dude who was like 700 years old but was still fully intact?
Oh, you think that. Well, that was supposed to be the tomb of Nicholas Flamel, right?
Yeah, I think that was supposed to be Flamel.
Yeah, so like the Philosopher's Stone would have preserved him, even if it hadn't like kept him from dying, right?
But the Philosopher's Stone wasn't real. It was you in the end.
Maybe he was also the philosopher. The Philosopher's Stone is inside all of us.
It's inside you. It's inside everybody.
I think the whole point is like the key is having faith and like having, I don't know, it's like some sort of righteousness about you.
So he thought he wouldn't die, so he did die, but he wasn't rotting?
I guess. Like, he didn't... I don't know. It might.
Yeah, see, that's a big thing to think about.
It's a head turner. But yeah, like I do think you have to have like that. The point was you're supposed to have that sort of righteousness about you, because like the movie ends on her saying she's not in it for money or treasure.
Oh yeah.
Just the truth, and like it's definitely a lot of it out of guilt for
her dad. Passing.
And like she feels like it was her fault that he killed himself.
I think because she saw her dad's corpse in the first cave in Iran.
Right.
And that wasn't even like a part of the whole hell thing. So what was he doing there? Like how?
That's a good question. Yeah.
Maybe he was just haunting her, or
I don't know, or maybe that was like another gateway, or
maybe
something.
I thought there would be like only one gateway to hell.
Yeah, you'd think so. Jeez,
I saw this like joke where it was like, people think they entered hell when they got to the thing where it was like, all who enter here have no faith or something like that.
Yeah,
but they actually entered hell when they went to France.
Yeah, the 10th
when they got to Paris.
Yeah, because that might be worse than hell.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
I would never go to. Can't catch me dead in France, unless it's hell. Oh, I like this note. Like when they, like the first time you hear the random screaming, I wrote down, "Are they in hell?" And
oh yeah.
I don't know.
No, but what was that part when they got into the area where it was the water and then it muffled? Everything was muffling.
That was weird.
Like, and then I think everything started to crack and all that. Like the thing, like the, what's it called? Ceiling above them. It was like all just breaking. They're like, "Come on, let's go."
Yeah, like we need to go.
But was it muffling for them because the camera wasn't in the water?
No, well, I thought my audio was bugging out for a second.
And the girl Scarlett, she was like, what's going on?
Yeah, and then the characters are like, and you're like, oh, so this is supposed to be happening.
Yeah. Do you think maybe it was like something with their ears, and then it just happened to the camera too, or what?
I mean, okay, so they're in some circle or another by this point, and like I know you could just say like, oh, they're in hell, so nothing has to make sense, but like they wouldn't do anything without a reason behind it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's confusing. It really is, because religion is confusing.
True.
And they just go really deep into that.
Yeah, no, they lean so hard into these.
Yeah, the writers did a really
imagery.
good job.
I loved it. It was like, it makes me want to read that book now, Dante's Inferno.
That would be probably hard to understand.
It
was
probably
like written 1300s.
Yeah,
have to
it's
deal
like
with old English.
It's one of those long poems.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but it would be. I mean, it would be.
Is that
cool.
a cat?
Is it? Oh, there's. It is.
Is that your cat?
It is not. No, it's like a stray that hangs out sometimes.
Oh my god, do you think I can pet it? You think it'll let me? Is it leaving?
I don't know.
Oh, it's gone. I was like, what is that moving over there?
I've never seen it back here before. I wasn't sure there would be a happy ending to the movie.
See, I didn't think it was going to be like a happy ending either. Because I was like, okay, I feel like all of them are gonna. I thought George was gonna die,
right?
And then she's gonna be all alone,
like the final girl.
Yeah,
sort of, yeah.
But the three escape, and oh my god! So you know how the as above, like so below. It's like this, but this is the as above, so below symbol. But it's like a triangle. I forgot what it's named, but it has to do with as above, so below too. It's a triangle upwards and then a triangle downwards, and they cross over each other. So
so
you
like
know how
heaven and hell? Or?
Yeah, but do you know how there were 6 people? 6 points of the triangle, 3 die, 3 live.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. I do, yeah, I wasn't...
Yeah, there's like a lot of them.
Yeah, okay. That's bad. I wasn't sure, I mean, I wasn't sure I'd even like it if there was a happy ending.
Really?
Like, I don't know, I feel like for this kind of movie...
I thought the ending was really good.
I thought they did it well.
Yeah.
I just wasn't sure how they could do it well until they actually did it.
Yeah.
Because like for this kind of hopeless sort of claustrophobic type movie, like a spooky ending that kind of sticks with you generally works better.
Yeah.
But they were actually able to do a happy ending
Yeah.
that also sticks with you, I think.
Yeah. Because personally, my favorite person was Papillon and Papillon. So the L's in his name always like get me because I watched it with subtitles. Just because
right.
I'm weird with that. Like if I can't see the words, I can't hear it right.
Okay.
So
yeah.
I like watching it with subtitles. But Papillon, he was like one of my favorites because I thought he was funny, and also Benji. Because I don't know, I just really like Cameraman.
I thought Benji was fun. I liked when they were in the tomb and he's like, I
don't know.
Yeah,
like,
there's a
dead
dead man right there.
There's a dead
I'm
guy
like,
right
that
there.
is like he might be the most reasonable person in this movie.
Because he was just the camera guy. He wasn't there he was just there to support Scarlet and stuff. Like he didn't know anything about anything. He's just like, I'm gonna record all this, and then he dies. The cameraman never dies.
The cameraman never dies.
But he did.
He did. I mean, he was also black, so I think it cancels out.
Yeah, you're right. Can we even say that?
I don't know. Might edit it out. We'll see.
See, they always kill the black guy.
They do. It's unfortunate.
Yeah,
but they killed like pretty much everybody. So
when I saw the movie, I was like, okay, 1, he's black, but 2, he's the cameraman. So I don't know how that's gonna go.
Right.
And they're like, well, kill him off.
Yeah.
And we're gonna replace him with a white guy. That's what they did.
Of course. I like the brief glimpses of like creepy children, and stuff.
Which
like,
one was that?
I noted one, like this scary child in a striped shirt. I don't know whose kid that was, because like
where was this?
It was towards the beginning. I think it was shortly after the phone.
That was George's brother.
It was George's brother.
That was George's brother. Because you saw his face was like bloated almost.
Ooh, yeah.
And his eyes were like gray and foggy. Because he drowned.
Because he drowned, and he has that.
Yeah.
It's just kind of, you kind of feel that like almost dread, I guess.
Like when I kept on seeing the dead people, did you notice? Sorry, I keep on like flipping through the topics, but did you notice that at the beginning of the catacombs when they were in the tourist area, it was like when the trumpets sound, the dead will rise, and each time a trumpet or like just a sound, a deep sound that sounded like a trumpet played, someone always appeared.
I did not catch that.
You didn't?
No.
I was catching that. I was like, okay, well, the trumpet sound happened. Oh, there's George's little brother. The trumpet sound happened. Oh, you can see like the guy burning in the car.
Yeah. Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. I was like, man, that's a good catch that I did.
Yeah, and maybe even if you don't catch it, it might tell the audience like something's about to go down. So
it's like a little sound foreshadowing.
So like you're kind of filled with this dread.
Yeah, kind of like how they do in movies where the intense music plays and stops. And then something
like
happens.
I think a good movie will like use silence just as effectively as it uses sound. I think this movie did that pretty well.
Oh yeah.
Like just these moments where they're all like trying to be silent, like with the guy in the chair, and they just don't want to mess with that at this point.
I think what really got this movie, because you know how when you watch movies you don't really notice the background music.
Right.
But this movie, I don't think it had any background music.
Yeah, aside from like the choir.
Yeah, the choir and the trumpets.
Yeah, because they're
and
trying
the screams, all that.
Yeah, because they are trying to do like the found footage documentary style. So they're not going to have like non-diegetic music like that the characters can't hear.
And I feel like for found footage that really puts you more into like the setting and the theme of it.
Oh, definitely. So yeah, so when the music does come on, a part of you is like, where the f*** is that coming from?
What is this? Like they're in the catacombs right now. You know?
And it's really cool. Just the sound, and again the sound design, like the muffled bit.
Oh yeah.
Which I still don't know what
I don't even know what that was about either.
It's hell. It doesn't have to make sense.
It doesn't have to make sense.
I liked when she saw the dad and like took off the bag.
Yeah,
was it her
her
own face?
It was her.
Like very Empire Strikes Back, you know?
Yeah. Like I thought that scared me, because I remember I watched that movie like last night too, and I low-key forgot that happened. I was like, oh, she's gonna take off the bag. Her dad's just gonna be there, like, But
and it's herself, and she goes,
I didn't remember that part, and that genuinely spooked me.
Yeah, no, it's freaky.
Because, I don't know, it's not like that could have been, she's following in her dad's footsteps.
Yeah, right, like, what led him to his death, this obsession, is going to lead her to her own demise, potentially.
Yes, and, like, remember the guy, Razda? Whatever his name was, the guy in the beginning who was helping her find the stone
in Iran.
Yeah,
right?
in Iran. And he was like, your dad descended into madness with looking for the stone. She's like, my dad was not crazy, but she was slowly descending into madness, going into the
like
hell,
she was a little selfish. Like she she roped George into it, right? He didn't want to be.
He didn't even want to go, like, and he didn't want to help at all.
Like, all these people dying is pretty much her fault.
Oh, yeah. I bet she would have felt really, really bad if he died.
Yeah.
Like, so bad, because he didn't even want to do it.
Might have ended up like her dad, maybe.
Yeah, probably killing herself.
Which, like, yeah, I did like that parallel. And it was like Empire Strikes Back, where, like, she sees herself in her father.
You're gonna hate me for this.
You haven't seen it?
I haven't seen any Star Wars movie.
Oh, my gosh.
any single Star Wars movie.
Yeah, well, because there's a scene in that where he's in this, like, weird, scary cave. He sees Darth Vader and cuts his head off, and the mask, like, blows up, and he sees his own face in there.
Oh.
So, like, it foreshadows, like, I am your father. And also, like, if he goes down this path...
This is what you can be.
That's what's gonna happen to you. So, yeah, that's what that made me think of, anyway. What else was there? I wrote down all the circles of hell. Because I think most of them were kind of addressed, or at least a few of them. Like, first there was Limbo, like with Latube.
Yeah.
Right?
Latube.
Then there was Lust, which is reserved for those who allow their appetites to sway their reason. I wasn't sure. That first made me think of the group taking the treasure. But then the next two are Gluttony and Greed. Which, I feel like they might have, like, just merged those three together.
Maybe.
To do that? I don't know, because gluttony is overindulgence, too much food, etc. And then greed is greed. Like, kind of self-explanatory, with the vortex of lost souls.
And especially because Scarlet was like, it's a trap! It's a trap! And she couldn't get it out in time before they took the bar off and literally collapsed in.
Oh, yeah. She's trying to stop them, and they just keep going.
Yeah, well...
They delved too greedily and too deep.
They do it, she didn't warn them in time. Like, right when she was saying it, the bars was already out. Like, the door was off. So, like, she couldn't really stop it.
Right, yeah.
But what were they gonna do with that treasure anyway? Like,
How were they gonna get it back?
Them
they didn't.
To get back?
Did they have bags or anything?
They had bags with batteries, food, water. Because, like, when it all collapsed and they were all on the opposite side, they're like, "Where's our bags and where's our water?"
How long were they, like, down there for? Was it, like, roughly the same amount of time as the movie took? Do you think?
Maybe because you remember at the beginning she was like, "This is gonna save us hours and hours if we go down this one."
Yeah.
So and
like,
they were forced to go down that one anyway when they went to the opposite area. And, like, they went through the bones because they were trying to go the wrong way because the wrong way was the safer way. But then it all collapsed and then it's the same area again. They're like, "Did we just do a circle?" They're like, "No, it's straight." And they're like, "Okay, well, let's just go down here now because it's the only way out. It's the only way we can go." And
I guess they never really stopped to rest or anything. So it can't have been like more than a day or whatever, right?
Well, they start in the morning. They get out at night.
They do. That's true. Okay, I was gonna say, like, do you remember when they went in? Because I don't remember.
They went in sometime in the morning, probably at like 9-10 a.m.
Probably, and then it's like the middle of the night. Stars are up in the sky.
Sometime at night. So it took them the whole day. The whole day to go through the catacombs and get out. Yeah.
And, like, it's also hell, so maybe time works, like, different.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's really, like, you really don't know how that happens. Let's see, what's the next? The next layer is wrath and anger. which is like for the angry and vengeful.
I feel like that would be Latu killing Suxi.
Ooh, true.
And no one really knows what her sin was, like why she was down there.
I feel like it was just like the same sin as that whole group of French people, like leaving Latube, right? Or not?
Maybe, but also she was killed in a violent way, so maybe her sin was like being very violent.
True.
Because the sin, it's not really the sin is the way that you're killed, but
like the punishment fits the crime.
Yeah. And you know what? The foreshadowing when Benji, he falls and then he's like, George catches him on the rope because he's down there already like halfway through the hole, and then Benji falls. It's like, oh, my hands. And like he would have died if George wasn't there. And then the next time George wasn't there, he died.
Yeah, that's true. Man. There's a lot of foreshadowing I just didn't catch.
There's a lot,
which I'm sure I would, probably on a second watch. I don't know. I would like to watch this again, like especially with somebody who hadn't seen it before.
Oh yeah.
And just watch.
See their reactions.
I love showing horror movies to people who haven't seen them before when I know like a scare is coming
and, you just
and
look
they
at
don't.
Them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, have you seen The Thing?
The Thing. I have seen The Thing.
Yeah, like the scene where he's going through the guy's guts, like the rib cage, and then it opens up and like bites his hands off.
Wait, are we thinking of the same movie?
Maybe not. Like the one in like the Arctic.
No.
No? Okay.
I'm thinking of, I think the movie was called The Thing. It might be, it's not, bro, it's not what I'm thinking. I thought the movie what I'm thinking of is called The Thing, where this guy is like on, not summer vacation, but he moved to this like summer town. And there's this creature that, like, copies people and, like, can mimic their look and everything.
Okay. It
was kind of a really bad movie, if I'm being honest. I did not like it. It wasn't even scary.
Dang.
Yeah.
That sucks.
So don't waste your time with that one.
So don't waste your time with The Thing. But the 80s The Thing is my favorite horror movie.
Yeah, the one I'm thinking of is, like, 2000-something.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, because the 80s one, it's like my favorite horror movie ever, about like a shape-shifting alien basically
in the Arctic. And yeah, there's this scene where it's this really good scare, and I was watching it with my friends, and I'm looking at all of them because I know what's coming. It's like the most unexpected thing ever. And just there are a few greater joys. So his rib cage was open, he was going through it.
Yeah, because the guy was like actually an alien. But, like, it was a human corpse, and he's just...
Oh, so it was an alien on alien crime.
Well, so the guy was human, and he was analyzing the alien corpse, because he thought it was dead. And he's going through his guts, and the ribcage just bites down on his hands and rips them off. And it's so gruesome and so out of the blue. And just all my friends were... Just jumping, and I'm...
Have you seen Terrifier 3 yet?
Not yet. I haven't seen any of them.
I've seen the first one. I haven't seen the second one or third one.
I heard the third one's, like, a lot better than the first two.
Really? I heard it's just senseless killing.
I mean, yeah, like, I know one guy who just saw it, and he said he felt dirty watching it.
Oh, yeah. I've heard about some things that make me not want to watch that movie.
Yeah, like... I wouldn't go see it. I'd see it
not in theaters,
my house.
Obviously. Yeah, no, at your house. I would not see that in theaters.
Right.
Because I would be walking out feeling like, ew.
Yeah.
And all these other people just watch it with you, all these strangers.
Yeah. Like, which I would like to see a horror movie with a bunch. I mean, I definitely have. I'm trying to think. I saw Longlegs in a theater.
I was literally, I was with Carrie. And then you were working.
Right. Yeah. I forgot about, yeah.
And then, Carrie was like, how was it? Like, have you seen it yet? And we're like, no, but my friends have. They said that they need to go to church after.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was creepy. I liked that one.
I thought it was kind of funny.
It was kind of funny. Like, I liked Nick Cage. Mommy!
Daddy! Yeah, I'd quote that a lot, way too much.
It's silly. And then the next one is heresy, which is for those who deny Christ or go against the Bible's teachings. So
who do you think that was? Wait, what stage are we in?
This is layer 6.
6. So, if the last one was Latu killing Suxi, but she was the first death.
Yeah, I feel like they weren't necessarily in order. Like it was more inspired by Inferno than like an actual like 1-to-1 adaptation.
Yeah. Wait, so who has died so far in the
I don't know. So we've got Suxi.
What were the other ones?
I don't know. Has anyone else died at this point?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
That's what I'm asking
What was the kill count of this movie?
3.
3? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, so maybe.
I mean, if you're counting Latu, then 4, I guess. But he wasn't.
But that was that was before the movie.
Yeah, he got killed because he was lost in the tunnels.
Mm-hmm. And they didn't go back for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know if they did go over heresy. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. My many viewers.
I low-key forgot we were filming.
True.
I'm very indulged in this.
I'm glad. Then there was violence, which is itself divided into 3 rings of its own, which is violence against each other, violence against yourself, and violence against God, art, and nature.
Violence against oneself. Maybe that
is suicide, which would be like her dad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and when was the only time she saw him in the tunnels was... No, when she saw the noose. When she saw the noose hanging there, and then she looks back and it's gone.
The news?
The noose.
I don't remember this.
The guy, well, not the guy, but they had just...
Oh, the noose.
Yeah,
I thought you said news.
Oh, no. They had just crawling through the gates of hell, like, where it had, like, ye who are here, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's obviously the first one to go in. She looks to her left, and there's a noose hanging there. And then she looks back to see if everyone, like, can see that, and then it's gone.
Yeah, yeah. So, and it's like, I don't know, kind of like the treasure was calling all maybe the noose was kind of calling her.
Yeah.
Like, this is gonna be you.
Yeah, this is, like, you remember what you did. Like, you didn't answer that phone call, so your dad died. Like, it's your fault. Mm-hmm. Stuff like that.
Yeah. So that's really interesting. Mm-hmm. Oh, and so I guess the violence circle has, like, a river of boiling blood.
So that would that be the hands?
I feel like it would. That was my first thought.
Yeah, the river of blood, and then she was literally just crawling through that.
Because they went through there earlier, too, didn't they?
Yeah, they went through it. It was water.
And it was just water.
It was water, and then when she went back, it was blood.
It was blood, yeah, with the scary hands. Yeah. And she's like, she says the words to them, right? And that makes them go away.
Yeah, she says, like, as above, so below, what I believe is to be true. Something like that.
Yeah, so I guess... Yeah, she goes through that spiel, which is how she's able to cross the water.
Yeah, because they all retract after that.
Just like how, like, Dante and Virgil said in the Inferno did, like, similar words, except they did it so they could get into hell in the first place instead of out, I guess. Which I don't know why they were doing.
Why would they want to go?
I skimmed the Wikipedia article.
Yeah, I didn't even look at it, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I just remember from, like, the first time I watched it, I went into that big rabbit hole.
Right. Yeah, my research consisted of, like, the Wikipedia for this movie, the Wikipedia for Inferno, and, like, a few Reddit posts I found.
A few Reddit posts?
Yeah, like, some discussions from people who know more than me.
I was going through a few YouTube things, but I was more focused on the alchemy and the as above so below part of this one.
Yeah, like the sort of mystical aspects. Yeah. I liked those. Like it was very like Indiana Jonesy.
Yeah, because they do go into that about the actual spirituality of all that. So
yeah, like all the symbols too. I'd be very curious, like somebody who knows what all these symbols and stuff mean.
Like I would love to listen to them.
Yeah. Jeez. Oh, sorry, it just like went right by my ear.
Bro, one was literally right on my hair. Like it was buzzing. I went, okay.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of bugs they are.
It's okay, as long as they don't bite or
yeah,
sting.
I mean, if we're good so far, then we're probably fine.
Yeah. If they're bees, they won't hurt.
No, they're chilling.
Yeah, because they don't want to die either.
Yeah, true. We just did violence. And then there's fraud, which I think is interesting.
Fraud.
Like liars, con artists, exploiters, thieves, hypocrites, false prophets, that sort of thing.
What level is that?
Number 8, so second to last.
Second to last. So fraud.
So I'd say that would be like people denying, like, what they did, like, it wasn't my fault, right?
So maybe, like, Papillon?
Yeah.
But also, you have to think about Zed, and he was like, I have a child, but I say it's not mine, even though I know it is.
Well, is that him, like, saying the child's not mine, or is it him saying, like, confessing that he lies about the child?
Maybe both.
Yeah. I feel like they wouldn't have been able to get out if they weren't, like, repenting, right?
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, if they didn't repent, they would have just died if they fell.
Yeah. Yeah, which I thought it would have been really funny if they just jumped
Loki
down
would have been funny, and then they
died.
just splat.
Yeah.
Just hit the ground. Kind of like how Benji did.
Right. Yeah.
They hit the ground, they bounce a little.
Like, Benji dying was kind of horrifying, but also I'm like...
Yeah. Bro, when he hit the ground, and then everyone's, oh my god! And then we have to keep going, and then she's just bawling her eyes out. We have to keep going, guys! And then I think it's so funny how when, because, who was it? It was Papillon. Papillon, was crying over Suxi, and he didn't want to leave her, and Scarlet was like, we have to keep going. Benji dies. Scarlet's crying. Papillon's like, we have to keep going, like, trying, like, getting back at her, kind of. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think about that. So what sin did... I mean, I guess denying, like, his daughter, right? Or son, or whatever the baby was him, like... I guess he, I mean, he doesn't take responsibility. And he just falls into this pit, literally, and maybe figuratively, too.
But I feel like, so do you think Benji and Zed were in the same area with, like, having a kid? Because... Or maybe the kill was meant for Zed.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of weird that they would kind of do that twice, like with like bastard children or whatever. But like maybe it was both of them, because like there are not many hints to what Benji did that led him here. So I don't know.
Because if he was, I feel like if you were a good person, you would have survived.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I know it's, like, hell and everything, but if you genuinely were a good person, and, like, you did believe in, like, God and all that, and, like, said your prayers every night, do you think all that shit would have happened in hell with them?
I mean, if we're looking at it as, like, the Christian hell angle, then, like, the only way to get out is, like, accepting Jesus Christ and fessing up to your sins, basically, right? And like basically saying, I messed up. That's my bad. I'm sorry.
Sorry, guys. I accidentally killed people. My fault.
Whereas, like, if you deny what you did or deny that it was wrong or anything like that, then you're kind of screwed. Yeah.
Because he kept on saying, it's not my fault. Like, it's not my fault. So if he would have said, I'm sorry, like, please forgive me, you think the guy would have let go?
I think he would have been fine. But he didn't do that. Like, he couldn't own up to it.
Yep. It's a lot to think about.
It is. So, fraud, and then the last circle was treachery, which we kind of went over earlier, people who denied love.
So maybe that was Ed.
Yeah, probably.
No! It was Scarlet and George, because they didn't... They had something going on, but they were, like, going against it because of that thing that happened in Turkey.
And then he confesses, like, that week was the best of my life.
Yes.
Which is how they're able to...
So he confesses! Oh, my God.
So they're no longer being treacherous. Yeah, true. Man. Yeah.
That is a lot.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting, like, when I was researching, I guess the final circle is, like, a frozen lake. Yeah. Which kind of goes against the usual,
Hold on, let me take a little gander at myself, because those glasses, I think, got me a little sweaty, bruh. My fault.
You're good.
Okay, because I'm, like, in the shade now, so.
Yeah, that sounds... Hold on, let me see, how long have we... we're chilling.
How long have we been recording?
About an hour.
Oh, really? It hasn't felt like it.
No.
Let me look at the notes I have.
Yeah, please do.
Oh, mine are literally just about the hermetic principles and spiritual alchemy. So I'll just go through them. I don't think it really has to do with anything about, like, the movie very, like, you have to look into it.
Right.
You know? It's not just like, oh, there it is.
Mm-hmm.
But for alchemy, it's calcification, which is breaking down parts of ourselves that get in the way of happiness. Disillusion, letting go of control of anything you can't control. Separation, reviewing and deciding what to discard in our lives. Conjunction, union, marriage in the sun and the moon, which they actually did that in the movie. You remember how she was talking about the story where the moon and the sun, like, gave birth or something?
Yeah, the sun, I remember that. The sun goddess every morning gave birth to the sun and then ate it back up at night, right?
Yeah, the sky goddess.
The sky goddess.
And then someone got jealous and was like, you can only touch the palms of your hand and, like, the soles of your feet, something like that. But, fermentation, the soul is made to rot and decompose, facing challenges and learning from important lessons to then move on in spiritualization, which I feel like that whole thing was a lesson, like, going through hell.
Yeah, right.
Albedo, the introduction to a new life to change its characteristics, would be them going past the pothole, like, into the new world where they did.
Like, at the end when they get through the manhole? Yeah.
Distillation, reducing and condensing volatile essence for purification. And coagulation, the resurrection of the soul in its purest form.
Okay, so they kind of go through, like, a metaphorical resurrection at the end, right?
Because
where they get out of hell,
they get rid
but
of
also
all their
they're
sins.
like, like the Christianity angle. They're born again, right? Free of sin. But it is interesting how they mix, like, kind of the Christianity part and like all these more mystical stuff.
Yeah, and then the other ones I have are the 7 Hermetic principles. And this is more of, like, that has to do with, like, the as above, so below principles. But mentalism, the universe is the mental creation of all. Correspondence, as above, so below, everything corresponds with everything. Vibration, everything vibrates. Polarity, the duality of nature. Rhythm, the flow of the pendulum swing, flow of action and reaction. Cause and effect, every cause has its effect, and vice versa. Everything happens according to law, and nothing is by chance. Gender is in everything. Everything has its corresponding male or female principles. But I don't know if... I feel like the only thing that relates to the movie is obviously correspondence and cause and effect.
Yeah, cause and effect's a big one. Because, I mean, everything they do has an effect, right? Like, it's these are all the effects of their past.
They did something in their past which caused them to sin, and then they're facing all of it.
Yeah, they're facing the punishment.
Yeah, that's the cause and effect.
And they all have their, like, personal hells that they go through here. And it's very trippy, very weird, very cool.
Do you think George was, like, genuinely supposed to die when he saw his brother in the water? Do you think... I feel like his brother was trying to drag him down with him.
Yeah, he definitely was.
Yeah. It's kind of sad, though.
It
is.
He
was just a kid. All that.
I mean, that's why...
Like, I know it's just a movie, but,
Right, no, I know. I mean, they were able to save him, and I'm sure he would have died, but, like...
He would have died if she didn't...
Yeah, he still had the potential to be redeemed, whereas maybe everyone else was, like... I don't know, maybe not necessarily beyond redemption, but, like, they just didn't... It just wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah. Just, like, thinking about all of that. You know, you're just thinking about it, you're trying to process everything that you just saw.
Yeah, no, it's a very fun movie, but I actually think it... Like, some of these fun movies, I think, get kind of worse the more you think about them, but, like, this has actually, like, gotten better the more it stirs around in my head.
Yeah, because they hide these things in the movie.
Yeah, they don't spoon feed it either. They give you these clues, they let you figure it out, like we're doing right now.
But I actually had a little thing with, like, the catacombs. I forgot what it's called, like an obsession. You know how some kids are obsessed with, like, the Titanic, or...
Right, like a hyperfixation.
Yeah, mine was the catacombs for a hot minute, and I went, like, found all these stories about this girl who went in to get drunk, because apparently people do that in Paris. They go down to the catacombs to party, because they have, like, secret raves down there, all that. But, she went down to the catacombs with her friends, got drunk, wandered off from her group, and was found 2 years later in a undesignated part of the catacombs.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, okay, so what was she doing for 2 years? No one knows?
She was dead.
Oh.
She died.
Okay.
She was drunk. She had nothing. She had no light. She had no water, no food. She probably died within, like...
So, yeah, pretty quickly.
Yeah, pretty quickly.
So, what, someone just found her? Like,
when they're excavating the areas of the catacombs, the ones that still haven't been, like, documented,
right.
they found her. Which I don't know what part of a human decomposition she would be in, but...
Yeah, it was definitely, like, gnarly.
Yeah, it was
stinky.
pretty gnarly, bro.
Yeah.
2 years. 2 years.
Yeah, because that's, like, not enough time for it to be, like, fully
Bones.
just bone, but also, like, it's enough that it's gonna be, like, messy.
Pretty nasty. Yeah. That kind of just makes me sad, though. I think
Yeah.
she was, like, 19.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
I did like that, like, this wasn't a super gory movie.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't rely on, like, just grossing you out to scare you, like some movies do.
It was more of the eeriness
Like,
and
it was the eeriness, the claustrophobia,
Yeah.
and just the what is going on of it all.
I feel like after some people watch this movie, they, like, wanted to go to church. Just, like, after Long Legs.
Yeah, right.
I don't even know how to put it into words. It's just very religious heavy, and I think that's what makes it so interesting.
Yeah, no, I think I love when horror movies, like, have that religion angle. Mm-hmm. Like, I think it speaks to me since I've been going to church, like, my entire life. Mm-hmm. So I kind of have that, like, oh, that's actually kind of...
Yeah.
But also, like, it's just a cool basis for, like, horror stories, I think.
Because, I don't know, I was talking to one of my friends, I forgot who it was, but they said if they made a horror movie about, like, vampires or something, they would put it in the catacombs. Because miles and miles of undocumented cave or tunnel systems, and it's completely dark down there.
Yeah.
No one goes down there, like, to the point where it's undocumented. So.
Yeah, and they've been there for so long.
Yeah, it's been there for long.
Yeah, I think it's very ripe for horror movies, like I think I said earlier.
I'm surprised I haven't seen more.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's a nightmare to get, like, rights from the French government.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe someone could do some, like, illegal guerrilla filmmaking.
Maybe. I feel like someone probably would do that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you've seen the movie The Descent.
I was gonna say, like, I haven't seen it, but I've heard this is
either,
very similar.
Because I really want to watch that movie, but every time I tried to watch that movie, it was really expensive to, like, rent or just buy, and it wasn't on anything. It was sad.
Yeah, I would like to see The Descent, because that's also supposed to be, like, a creepy, claustrophobic type. Is it found footage?
I don't know. I know it might. I think it is. I think it is found footage because they're having the headlamps.
Okay.
Like, their whole thing is
it's
they're
in, like,
excavating.
a mine, right?
Yeah, they're excavating the mine.
That one's supposed to be, like, really scary.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, there's creatures down there. They're not going into hell. There's other things down there with them. And that's what, bro, caves, anything that has to do with, like, a cave system, I love it. But it's also so scary to me. It's so unnerving. Anything with, like, creatures, I freaking love it.
Just
like,
little ghouls.
The Ritual.
Yeah, The Ritual. Which one was that?
It was the movie where, like, I'm reading the book. So it was like it was the one where these friends, it was like all middle-aged. They go into the dark forest, which is it's in Germany. Okay. And they get lost in the forest, and then there's, like, these creatures or something like that.
Fast. And you have seen it, or
I'm reading the book.
You're reading the book.
I have a weird thing. I need to read the book before I watch the movie.
No, I get you. I was like that for a long time.
Especially,
and then I've just kind of fallen off my reading habit lately.
Yeah, I'm a big reader, so it's, like, just something I have to do. Like, I still haven't, like, I've seen the Hunger Game movies, but I'm not watching the whole series until I finish the whole series.
I read all the books way back. I still haven't seen, like, Mockingjay or... I think I only watched half of Catching Fire.
Really? I'm stuck on the third book. It's gotten to the point where it's just like, Okay, this is more political. Like, I was here for the killing.
Right.
So let me put this down for a second. But now I'm reading Shatter Me. So that's a really good book. I don't know if you would enjoy it. It's more dystopian, kind of like Divergent.
Right. I read Divergent.
It's pretty good.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I like how we just go off topic.
Yeah, no, it happens a lot on these.
You just edit those out and then just like...
Well, sometimes. Son of a bitch. What the
You should keep that in.
I will. Yeah, there was one episode, I cut out a solid half hour of just me and my guest talking about random horror movies.
Oh, yeah.
It was bad.
Well, I'm gonna wrap it up right now. I think I got everything I wanted to say out.
Yeah, I mean, I'd recommend the movie if anyone hasn't seen it.
Good movie.
I think it's on Netflix.
It is on Netflix.
Yeah, remember to like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Hit the bell for notifications every time there's a new one. Follow on Spotify, rate 5 stars, please. And we're on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram.
Yeah, follow and subscribe.
Do you have anything you'd like to plug?
No.
No? Okay.